Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, depending on where you're watching from. My name is Ralph President, reporting from Lagos. So today I'm just relaxing to East Country. Today is Sunday, the 8th of June. You know, some 2-3 days ago, it was public holidays in Nigeria. I think this should be either the birthday of Muhammad. Yeah, I don't know actually, but all I understand is that the Muslims are just celebrating one of their many festivals. And you know how it is with Nigeria, if there's any Muslim festival or celebration, the NEPA will be on, water will be running, the road will be free, even the pump price will be at least a bit lower than Easter, Christmas, and a New Year, counterparts, for Christians. When we celebrate all these, let me say, festivals, the Nigerian political system, the Nigerian economic whatever will be worse, so that it will be more painful, very excruciating for the Christians, their Christian counterparts. But you can see, as I'm telling you, as I'm talking to you now, there is much light since morning. There was light since morning. There was light since morning everywhere. There was light. I mean, NEPA, power supply was so on. Since 2-3 days now, no interruption of light, simple because the Muslims are, celebrating one of their various festivals. So that's what actually, makes a Nigeria a country where gross inequality avails. And we Christians is like we're not perturbed because we are used to the system. Our Muslim counterparts are seen to be having upper, hands over the political system of the country against their Christian counterparts. So, be it like that. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu would have been in the court on 6th June 2025, but could not because of this, Muslim festival. Muslim festival is on course. That's why they actually threw it out. The court could not hold on Friday. Rather, it is gone on. It would have held. It would have been held at least. It would have held on Tuesday. But you can see Monday is still Muslim festival. And on Tuesday, it is not at least, certain Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be going to the court. So, come what may, this month, next week, we are going to see Mazi appear in the court. But some other appearance on the court is certain because I know it should be either 15th or on 20th. But anyway, before that time, they are going to throw it on social media. Why is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu incarcerated? Is a big question that is left for United Nations. Yes, United Nations organization, because I know that the case committed against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a case committed against all the United Nations member nations all over the world. Abduction of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu by Nigerian government from Kenya is illegal. They have actually breached against United Nations Charter, against international charter. It is a law, a criminality against humanity. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is not supposed to be arrested in the first place in Nairobi, Kenya. Yeah, what was he doing that, warranted arresting him in the past in the faraway Nairobi, East Africa? He was agitating for emancipation of Biafran nation. Biafran exit from Nigeria is now a must, a justified venture. Yeah, a justified, legalized, must, because we are tired of a contraption. The contraption called Nigeria is overdue. So Biafra is overdue for exit, and it is on course. Nobody could stop it. Fulani Janjaweed, the bloody nomads that's wander from place to place, could never ever stop Biafra emancipation. That is why the noise, the counter forces, against Biafra emancipation is heating up all over the Sahel country, the region of the Fulanis. It is a must that Biafra must emancipate. Anyway, with the declaration of Biafra in the faraway Scandinavia, Europe, Finland is a good example of what is about to engulf Africa in the recent time. Ibrahim Traore is on his own, actually exonerating prison, and if you ask me, watch Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for seeing what Ibrahim, has actually seen in 2022 to stage the coup, military coup that disbanded democratically instituted administration in Burkina Faso in 2022. That young man, Ibrahim Traore, is almost a synonymous force represented by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu in Nigeria. Both men are alike in nature. They are one people in one nation, called Africa. Africa is a nation, if you ask me, because when they were actually, oppressing, marginalizing, ransacking Africa in the early centuries of like 14, 13, I think 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 centuries, Africa was a great nation. Well, other countries in Africa like Nigeria, like Kenya, like Tanzania, Zambia, Namibia, Angola, they were all states. They are all African states then. But you can see the rising of the nation states actually brought about independence, questioning our spirit in the 60s, late 50s. And actually Egyptians, the Ghanaians, Nigerians, Senegalese, Cameroonians actually fought for it, and it was given to them by fire, by force. That's why Ghana got her own in 1957, Nigeria got their own in 1960, and after independence again, we see a different British, policy, very, very British, brutal policy, a situation whereby Britain left Africa, but still in charge of Africa. A situation whereby France, Spanish left Africa, but still, all the Francophones are still under the tutelage of French brutal rules. How do they do it? They actually, ransack all the natural endowment of their colony in Africa, and return back mega amounts. If Cameroon is having like after annual expenditure, let me say $18 billion or euros, France is going to give Cameroon 1 billion euros. If Cameroonian natural resources are sold at the end of the day, 14 billion in a month, the French will give Cameroonians only 1.5 billion in euro. I'm telling you, this is called the French, assimilation policy. It's an ideology that the Spanish, the British, and the French, even the Belgians, actually, beckoned on after the years of African independence nations. They are at the back door siphoning our mineral resources, selling it, realizing huge money, and giving unto us sultry mega amounts. And the political leaders have been at least surfaced, channeled, showcased by these European colonialists as the leaders here, while they are the principal leaders. They use Tinubu as a puppet. Tinubu is just an errand boy to the British. They use the like of Ruto of Kenya. They use the like of Paul Biya of Cameroon as errand boys. While at the back doors, the French are making Cameroonian mineral resources. The British are making Nigerian mineral resources, thereby returning to us mega amounts. Just imagine. The Tinubus that has actually claimed that he's owner of Lagos, is very wise, he's big, he's a politician, Jagaban. The British are more or less gigantic Jabagan than Tinubu himself. You see that kind of shameless, attitude of our political leaders in Africa. They are nobodies but dwarfs before the Spanish, before the Portuguese, before the French and the British. Imagine someone could not stand up on his feet and look eyeball to eyeball with the British, with the Spanish, with the Portuguese and said, you are stealing what belongs to me. Why not hands off? Go back to Europe. They still become errand boys because they are all, suffering from inferiority complex. The black monkeys. They believe that they are monkeys. They are very, very below the white. That's why over the years, the whites, European whites, are in control of African continents. I'm telling you, there are many stories to tell about African political leaders who, as a result of their, bulged economic muscles, neglect the African locals, original owners of the land, the common Africans, romancing with the oligarchs in Europe, using our natural resources to build mansions, to buy skyscrapers in Europe, in South Africa, in Asia, and even in America, looking down on the, suffering Africans. Africans are going down on daily basis. Look at what is going on in Congo. Africans are being suppressed, oppressed, marginalized, and exploited on daily basis. Look at what is going on in Kenya. Africans are being looked down on by their European counterpart who are the former colonialists. What are they doing to Nigerians? Look at Nigeria. Nigerian people are educated people. Look at us here. We are the best in Africa, not even all over the world. But today we are famished. We are not only hungry, we are famished. We are suffering from multidimensional poverty in Nigeria. Courtesy Tinubu administration, courtesy Major General Buhari regime, courtesy Olusegun Obasanjo era. These wicked African politicians, political leaders, they've actually enslaved us, worried us, reduce us to zero level. But I know that God is waiting. God is watching. Sometimes, someday, God is coming to actually, fight for us. There are many, many things, many vices, vices, There are many vices Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was fighting in the past before his abduction in Nairobi, Kenya. He is still fighting against all those vices in our society, in our political setup in Nigeria. As he is thrown into dungeon, he is fighting all these vices in our political system, in our leadership system. I'm telling you, even though he is in. Why is it that Igbo man is over marginalized? Why is it the outside the Fulanis that have been controlling Nigeria for how many years, their regions are not developed? Why is it that even Yoruba man that has been part of the political leadership of this country, they are all suffering? They are chewing concrete, ajokuta, amomi. Yorubas that took part in at least ruling Nigeria, what is it that they have achieved? Nothing. It's for all their pockets. Yes. They generate money among themselves, stole money among themselves. The Chibanjos, the Obasanjos, the Anechonikos, and many of them, what are we saying? That partook on the political leadership of the country. What is it that they have achieved for the Southwesterners? That's why I'm saying that we are in a very, very multi-dimensional, problem, political problem. Nigeria is the most populous black country, and this is where you will see the thickest, the most brainwashed apes, monkeys, in charge of political power or leadership of this country. Just let us throw, spotlight on the profile, on profiling. Retired Major General Buhari, who just, paved way for administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu in 2023. Who actually was Muhammad Buhari? He was nobody, an illiterate, a man without certificate. Yes, a man just trained to know how to rear animals, livestock economy. He could not even study that branch of agriculture too well. He's just a cattle rearer. No certificate, no discipline, no prowess, no expertise. He doesn't know anything about, let me say, specialization or professionalism. He knows nothing. This is a Nigeria, most populous black country, where human beings, political leaders are worse than monkey, apes. That's why they are punishing anybody that is showcasing or at least exposing all their unwatched undies to the members of the world. Look at VDM. The other days, VDM was arrested. Look at Pharaoh Timidele, he was arrested. Look at Chowore, he was arrested. Look at Seni, Aicham Yusuf, about arrested. But he actually shone and won them. As a result of Fulani, dominance of the northern region, nobody could approach Aicha Yusuf for arrest or for apprehension. That's the kind of country we have here. Cowards. And today we are seeing Nnamdi Kanu, who has been down for how many years in jail. Igbo man, Igbo man. And our politicians are everywhere in the north, everywhere at Asurok, kneeling down and bowing down, while we are not practicing monarchy. Monarchical system of government is a situation whereby, a dispensation whereby you should be kowtowing. You should be kowtowing before the so-called president or the so-called king. But here is a democratic setup, presidential system of government as it is being, embedded on American constitution, and Americans are following it that way. Embedded on Nigerian constitution, and we should be following it. We are supposed to be following it that way, but we are not. Go to Asorok, Leo, everybody bowing down, bow down before fellow man. I'm an Igbo man. We don't bow down before human beings, no matter whom you are, no matter how exalted is your position. There are many cases to answer now because Nnamdi Kanu is suffering in jail. Hope Uzodinma is catching out. Dave Umar is catching out. Peter Mba is lying, telling all manners of lies against Samuel Ekpon Joko. All these are within the agitation, struggle for emancipation of sovereign state of Biafra. That's why Mba is telling the whole world that Ekpa has committed various, activities likely to be bloody activities of, terrorism. It is all lies. These politicians in Nigeria, they're all rogues, they are thieves, and God is going to judge all of them. Peter Mba, God is going to judge you. Charles Soludo, God is the one that should question you. Dave Umahi, what you did to Biafrans in the past, before assuming the office of Minister of Transport in this current administration, God is going to question you. You were made governor by the Christian Association of Ebonyi State. Yeah. From Christ Embassy, they voted you. Now you are dancing to the devil. Muslim ticket, nonsense. And let me tell you, Christian Association of Nigeria, out of prayer, warfare, they made you governor of Ebonyi State, and you could not deliver. You turned against your kinsmen. You annihilated, decimated, neutralized many Ebonyi youths in Ebonyi State. I'm telling you that God is watching over you. God is in charge of all activities of men. So don't think that we are going to escape it. God's wrath is waiting. Secondly, remember ICC. All of you that perpetrated bloody acts against all the youths of the southeastern Nigeria, remember ICC, International Criminal Court. Conquer to make hope Uzodinma will never ever escape from ICC. You must go there. All of you that actually unprovoked killed Igbo youths in the southeastern Nigeria, all in the name of Biafra, to stop Biafra, to halt Biafra, to extinct Biafra. You killed many Igbo youths. ICC awaits all of you. Anyway, I had to pause here until when I come tomorrow, we start our actually, music of analysis of Biafra emancipation. Bye from now.